left, right.
So many scams out there. What is going on? Well, in this episode, we are talking about the top scams that are happening in 2024, what we've been experiencing, what you need to look out for, and that's it. So listen on, and I'll see you on the other side. This is SipTalk. Grab a drink and enjoy.
Gross as fuck.
Cheers.
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 All right, we are live. This is SipTalk, episode 249. My name is Justin DiGiulio, joined by James, the Boswell, philosopher, philanthropist, philanderer, philatelist, phlebotomist, arachnophobiast, man of many PHs. James, how's it hanging down there in sunny South Carolina?
Yo, let me tell you something about arachnophobia. So, I have it really bad, and
yes, I'm aware.
I'm considering a potential move to Spain next year, and the island of Tenerife is really interesting to me. Canary Islands off the coast of Africa, Spanish territory, lots to like. And one of the things that I would like to do before I move anywhere is understand whether spiders are a potential problem in that area. Here is the problem. If I search for like spiders in Tenerife, I want to just get like information about
You just
it.
want text. You don't want
Yes.
any image results.
Right. And so if I do that, I am just bombarded with various pictures of spiders, and I'm just like, I can't read this because I can't look at pictures of spiders. I like if there's a website that comes up with a picture of a spider, like I have to close my eyes and like Alt F4 out of it.
You have some real serious arachnophobia.
Yeah, so it makes it so like I can't even research the problem.
Well, listen, on top of being joined by James, the arachnophobiast here, we also have Rosh Galeb in the flanks, feeding us your comments live on TikTok and Instagram. If you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Twitch live, we can see your comments. We can reply to your comments in real time. Also, if you're not watching us live, hopefully you've subscribed on YouTube or Spotify or Apple Podcasts somewhere like that. We'd love to see you in the future. What are we talking about today?
Real quick, I want to go on one more rant about arachnophobia.
Quick.
You'll like this. So I'm a big fan of pranks, but like I tell people, like I'll take most pranks well, but if you prank me with anything related to spiders, especially if they're real spiders, like I will not be responsible for my actions, and please know that I am comfortable going in front of a jury on this.
Well, you did give a disclaimer.
Yeah.
So today we are talking about scams. An episode that we've covered scams in the past, and maybe 100 episodes ago. We got a lot of scams out there. This episode, well, really, where we started with this episode was that I got an email, and I get many emails from people saying they want to be on the podcast. And then I say, well, what is it? What is it that you want to talk about on this podcast? You have to have some type of agenda. You're reaching out to me. And I think that's a way other podcasts promote their podcast. Obviously, our one listener knows they stumbled across us by chance and fell in love. And, we don't work too hard to promote our podcast. But these guys do a lot of promotional reaching out to other podcasts. They want to come on board. And we just get all sorts of, somebody wanted to come on and share finance advice. We had somebody that wanted to come on and talk about sobriety. A couple years ago, we had somebody on who talked about how he was once homeless and now he's sober, and he wrote a book. I guess he was promoting his book. But this more recent one just kind of stuck out. I said, James, we could bring some of these people on. If we think they're full of shit, we could just harass them until they basically bow out of the episode. And you said to me, James, no, I don't think that would be the right thing to do. And then you looked into this guy's background, and now we're doing a whole episode.
Well, yeah, because first, like, I think I looked into his background to see what kind of material we'd be working with, and there were all sorts of signs on his website that this guy's full of crap. And so then the discussion between you
Signs
and I
we will explore tonight.
Yes. Then the conversation moved between you and I of like, hey, we could just bring this guy on and trash what he's doing. And I eventually arrived at the conclusion that I don't think that's what we want to be doing, because like we want this a place that people want to come. And if like everybody that comes on the podcast just gets trashed by us, then that's not really positive. And also, like, to a lesser degree, it feels like punching down.
Depending. I'd like somebody to come on as kind of a formidable guest and really state their case. But let's see, where am I? I got a lot of windows open. I gotta say, I gotta ask you first, what are you drinking?
I am drinking a Reed's ginger beer.
Oh, Reed's ginger beer. Those are always good.
Yeah, I'm still trying to stay away from the booze. On Saturday night, I relaxed my rules and let myself have a few drinks, and I woke up on Sunday feeling like garbage. And I was like, this whole month of not drinking has been going pretty well, and this is a reminder that like the past 4 weeks were the right decision, not the wrong one.
Well, your pursuit of health is a noble one. I also am drinking something healthy tonight, and I hate not being able to have a drink on this podcast, but I'm trying to be healthy. And I was on vacation last week. A couple packages arrived at the door. I could see them in the camera, couldn't tell what they were. I didn't remember ordering anything. Either way, I get home, package is addressed to me. I open it up, and there's 12 cans of True Hydration unsweetened lemon water. I think, oh, that's odd. I didn't order that. Somebody must have sent it to me. I open the other package. There's 12 more cans of unsweetened lemon water. I look it up online. It's like $36. So basically $3 a can.
That's absurd.
Plus shipping.
But,
And it's not even really lemon water. The ingredients are water, citric acid, natural flavor. So
how does that equal $3 a can? Do you know how cheap citric acid is?
Yeah, I at one point I had some big bag of citrulose or something like that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. I haven't really dug. It has magnesium, L-serine, taurine, potassium chloride, more potassium sorbate.
Potassium sorbate's like a preservative.
Yeah, so maybe there's some version of lemon in there. I don't think there is.
The citric acid is the lemon.
Well, that's the lemon, but is it? I mean, are they breaking that lemon into multiple parts? I don't know. Either way, it's nice and cold. It's been in my refrigerator. I'm going to open it up and drink it on air. If you sent it to me, let me know. I have no idea this ended up at my doorstep. I looked it up. It's a real product. It's sealed.
Yeah, and man, what a
if I don't make it through the episode, we're fucked. But this may be the last.
What a business to be able to sell $3 cans of water.
Well, the thing is, I didn't pay for it.
No. I'm talking.
I don't know. Well, we're going to go there about packaging materials. This is a scam. Packaging materials that are not worth, well, whatever it's being sold for. So here goes nothing. I got this True Hydration lemon water. It just tastes like really watery Gatorade. Well, I'll take it. It'll help me last through this episode. Where do you want to start with these scams? Should we start with the employment scam?
Like that your friend went through?
I think that would be a decent place to start. Yeah?
Sure. Go ahead and explain what happened with her.
So my former assistant, who's now a friend, she doesn't work for me anymore. She was a friend when she worked for me also, but she reached out to me a couple of months ago and she said, "Hey, could you look into this real estate company? I've been working for them for a week and something seems a little off." So I looked them up. I looked at their website. It at surface level appears legit. And I said, "Well, what happened? You had an interview? You went in person and met somebody?" She said, "Oh, it was a phone interview." I said, "It was a Zoom interview?" She said, "No, it was a phone interview." The pay that she was offered was pretty high, I thought, for what the job entailed. But she was doing real estate research. She worked the entire week for these guys. And then she couldn't get a hold of anybody. And apparently she filled out a background check with her personal information and gave all this information to these guys. I looked at the website and something didn't seem right. I was looking at the properties. They had different addresses, different pictures for all the properties. started clicking on some things, and then I realized many of the properties were very different but had the exact same price. And I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know this market, but I know that this level house and this level house are not the same price in any one market. And the more we dug, it was just a completely bogus job. So presumably the idea of the scam was to just scalp her social security number and her background information, right?
That was, yeah, we were struggling to figure out how they made money off of her, really.
Yeah, but that's what it looked like. They just took her information, and the thing is, maybe they sell this information to somebody else who runs some other scam in the future. That's all I can think of. But it was a pretty elaborate website, many pages deep, and then she interviewed. She was looking at other jobs. Should we talk about that futuristic housing development?
The Blue Tech Park place?
Blue Tech Park.
Oh, and by the way, like I tried to do research on these two places because Justin sent me the links for them so that I could look at them, and both of their websites are dead now.
Yeah, and this was months and months ago. But also got a job offer from Blue Tech Park, which is a futuristic city that's in development. They have the land. I think is it in Arizona?
The company address is listed in like Vegas.
Yeah. Okay. So it's outside of Vegas. Is this land that they're going to develop this futuristic city that will eclipse New York City? It'll eclipse Las Vegas. It'll be one of the biggest cities in the world. Very futuristic, energy independent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, a bunch of bold claims and a whole bunch of like low res CGI city stuff.
And at this point in time, it's just a plot of land. there's nothing going on. And then I started looking into the person who emailed her. So I look at the email. Doesn't look like a legit company email. I try to look the guy up on LinkedIn. There's a guy, but just he's got a different email address on there. Just very strange stuff. So another fake company. And it also happened a third time. And that's where we ended up on a whole nother level on this website, really digging in, saying this one looks legit. And then I was looking at the company reviews, and I noticed that the testimonials on the website also had user pictures. I said, okay, well, this picture looks a little odd. Who uploads a picture of yourself when you write a review? So a good looking
photos,
a good looking website, but something seemed a little fishy on the review section. So I'm looking at the review, read like a normal review, but I said, why is there a picture of this happy couple? So all I did was reverse image search the picture, and it was the main picture on a couple's therapy website.
Oh yeah, so basically a stock photo. But...
Yeah, basically a stock photo or a real photo that a different website used. They just stole it. And then I dug deeper into different pages of this website, and there was a lot of lorem ipsum.
So can we open up the PowerPoint that I created so that we can? I've got some images, and because I didn't know what lorem ipsum was until you told me about this fake employment thing. So I think there's a lot of people out there that don't know what lorem ipsum is.
All right, let me share my. Let's see. I have a window I can share, Microsoft PowerPoint. Hell yeah, we will share the PowerPoint. Oh,
and you can just skip ahead to the lorem ipsum page.
All right, well, we're going to have to do a full screen share here. A little more intrusive, but entire screen. Here we go. Well, you're going to get everything here. Thanks for joining. Oh, we're not going to be able to share this shit.
Why not?
I guess we didn't trial this before the episode. Let me see
if
I can share a Chrome window. That might work a little bit better. It's tough to trial things on live. You know, that's the problem. Trialing things while you're live. Chrome tab. Scam PowerPoint. Let's see. All right. Well, James, you gotta keep this moving while I.
All right. So there we go.
Scams and Grifters, a PowerPoint by James the Bosnator Boswell.
Yeah, I'm not gonna I can do better. I had to throw this together quickly, but Keep on scrolling down to the. Keep going. It's like next one. Yeah, there you
Lorem
go. Now we
ipsum.
got to zoom in.
Yeah. This is tougher to do here than I thought it would be. View. Is that more helpful?
A little bit, yeah. So there you go. So that's a website that's supposedly for like a place that does the escape rooms. Have you ever actually? Quick aside: have you ever done an escape room?
No, it doesn't. Locking myself in a room doesn't. I mean, I'm
I
sure it
mean,
would probably be fun, but it's just
you're
not
not
something my
actually locked
mind
in.
goes. No, but it's not. It's not something my mind goes to. Like, oh, this would be something I should do today. So, but basically,
I
what
did one once.
just real quick, what lorem ipsum is it's placement holder text. So it and there's an actual series of words that just kind of go on and go on and go on. But it reads something along the lines of lorem ipsum dolor sit amet qui officia de seron. It's a bunch of non-words, but it's placeholder text, so you can see how a paragraph is going to look. You can see how a title looks, and you may just think initially it's in a different language, but once you're familiar with it, it's all the same words and same same mountains, same language looking stuff. So it's pretty easy to spot once you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, and I had never seen it before until you brought it to my attention, and then like I started seeing it all over the place. But this is actually a website for like dark web drugs or something like that.
Oh no shit.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the lorem ipsum placeholder, and it's something that if you see that on a website, at the very minimum, you should be doubtful as to whether or not the website's legit.
There's one case where the website is still in development and it's live and they've kind of somehow ended up, but that's not a very professional thing to do. Anybody with a professional web developer is not going to have lorem ipsum on their website.
If I hired a professional web developer to do lorem ipsum's not quite Latin
It's
though.
not
It's
quite
like
like it
it's
sounds
something that's
Latin.
supposed to look like Latin but isn't actually words.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I hired a professional web developer to put a website together for me for whatever, and they went live with anything that had lorem ipsum on it, I would fire them immediately.
So we're going to talk about a lot of different scams today, by the way. We're going to talk about pig butchering. We're going to talk about selling fake cars. We're going to talk about your computer's been hacked. We're going to talk about the phone calls that you get. We got a lot, Facebook marketplace scams. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff. Hopefully we get all the way there, but just a little teaser.
Well,
Now that
let's get my PowerPoint done out of the way, and
all
then
right.
and then you can talk about the stuff that you put together.
Okay, well, here we go. We go back into our PowerPoint presented by James the
Because most of this
Boswell.
is from the guy that emailed you a couple weeks ago, and I think I redacted any personal information here. But for me, the number one red flag is if you compare yourself to Elon. And
I plan to get the Elon scale in terms of world fame and power. I tend to get what I want in life.
yeah, so this is like this guy posts a couple different essays that are all maybe like a page to 2 pages long, and this is just a snip from one of them. And it's like, look, if you're comparing yourself to Elon Musk, I am immediately not interested in talking to you in
Well,
any
this is the
way.
guy that wanted to share this on this podcast. To me, this sounds like a middle school essay that was written by Kanye. All right, can I hit this next slide here?
Yeah.
All right.
So bad proofreading. So this guy's same website, he has a page about like his workouts and stuff like that. And if you'll notice the red circle,
Yeah. Get
it,
motivated.
yeah, and in his essays, it was a whole bunch of bad writing and bad proofreading as well. But like this one just stood out because it was on a main page.
Yeah, the thing is, there's some spelling errors that it's okay, like that's fine, but you shouldn't have a lot of them. And there's so many softwares out there that will proofread and check your spelling and check your grammar for free.
Yeah. So this is a big one, which is selling products that aren't products. So this guy sells classes and meetings and stuff where basically you're just paying to talk with him for like an hour a week. And like up to like $1,800 a month or whatever. And I don't really see that as a product. Like, it,
1
because
hour call per week is $1,000 a month. So this guy's making $1,000 for 4 hours, $250 an hour.
yeah, times however many people have paid for it.
Well, exactly. Yeah. So, and does this? Did you see if this guy has any real cred except for just what he's put on his website?
I mean,
Okay, well
no,
here
not
you go.
really.
So selling non-products. In this case, these
Yeah.
are unaccredited classes. These are classes that he is giving credit to. That's why I said, did you find anything that kind of give any
No,
credit
like-
to him except what he said about himself?
Like, he also said that he like started however many number of startup businesses, which even if that's true, like, it's very easy to just like incorporate an LLC for like $150, call it a startup, and then let it fail. So like, if I had enough time and money, I could be like the founder of 20 startups by the end of this month.
Selling books and other guides to industries.
You see a lot with real estate, actually.
It's what you say. It's very common in real estate.
Yes.
Yeah, it is very common in real estate. And all you got to do is have ChatGPT type up a 20-page guide for you. They save it as a PDF, and then you can sell it on your website as a guide. It's pretty easy to do.
Yeah, think about like how many of like those like hotel courses where it's like, like 9 till noon at like
You mean Grant Cardone?
the conference room at the Embassy Suites, and it's some guy talking about like basically just flipping real estate, and you pay like $300 to learn like buy cheap properties, put in a little bit of work to them, make it look nice, but don't actually like repair the shit, and then sell it for more.
Yep, there's a lot of that's basically real estate classes 101. Just not what I do, but
no, but like that exists in your industry.
So,
yeah, well, all right. So supplements and other nutritional crap,
which contain garbage ingredients. One of my scams I have the story to tell about is buying a supplement online. But the scam wasn't that it was a garbage supplement. There was another scam involved. We'll get there in a minute.
All right. Well, yeah. If you go to the next page of the picture, I found this one on a well-known scammer's website where he's selling this like good night sleep supplement for like $34 a bottle, and it's basically just melatonin pills. Which, if you were to go to the pharmacy, like a bottle that size would probably cost you like $11 to $12.
Yeah, which it says on his website, it's actually discounted from $45 to $33.
Yeah, so it's really common in the supplements thing where like if you go to GNC and you want to just buy like a tub of whey protein, it'll probably cost you about $30 or like a gallon. But you'll find all these websites that'll put all these buzzwords on the front of a jug and then sell that same thing for like $90. Because like you can go to Alibaba and get all sorts of generic products and then just rebrand them as something else.
Yep.
Go back to the previous page.
All right, and then you've got multi-level marketing pyramid schemes where you make money by having people underneath of you.
Yeah, looking at like LuLaRoe, Amway, Cutco knives.
Yeah, but
Herbalife.
there's also a lot of now like Forex trading and crypto trading guys that are basically getting people to come online.
Oh, sign on to my platform, right?
Sign on to my platform, watch me trade. I'm not really going to make much money, but I'm going to tell you how to trade while I do it. You make the trades. You bring people on. They pay a membership fee. You get a cut of their fees.
Yep, and then if they bring people on, then they get a cut of their fees, and you also get a cut of their fees.
That's multi-level marketing 101.
Yep, and then the last one I have, I didn't really explain, but like when you're selling access. So like I know people, so like if you know me, then you know people, like which you're basically selling networking.
Yeah,
which like in legitimate industries, you're not really paying for networking.
All right, let's move on.
Well, I didn't scrub some personal information, but
I think it's all right.
Yeah, but vague description of skills.
My business mindset, a mix between Zuckerberg, Bezos, and Musk. wants to be the wealthiest man in the world by helping the most people.
All right. So first of all, Zuckerberg, Bezos, and Musk. None of those three are people that I think you should aspire to be. And a combination of the three is just worse.
Yeah. And I wouldn't say that they necessarily had the greatest business mindset. I don't know. I think they got
No.
very lucky with the product.
They got very lucky with the product, and they were willing to take advantage of people in a way that most others aren't.
Yeah, so being the wealthiest man in the world is basically means that you were taking advantage of a lot of people.
An interesting thing I heard, like, imagine this, like, if we observed a species where, like, I don't know, let's imagine we discovered a species of apes, and in the group of apes, there was one ape that was sitting on a mound of like 10,000 coconuts. And then of the other 99 apes that were around, they all had like a half coconut each and were all starving. We wouldn't look at that and say like that's a good society. It'd be like, what the hell is going on with this like species that they think that this is a good way to structure their society? But that's what we have with billionaires.
That's exactly how that works.
But if we look at like his skills, like startup scaler, but like there's nowhere on his site does he really like talk about any of the businesses that he's grown or like put metrics to them.
No, it just says startup scale, ultra athlete. I like. Did you see any like videos of this guy running races?
I actually believe that he does some of that stuff.
He
I
may,
didn't care to
yeah.
look at the videos, but like being an athlete doesn't mean that you're going to be good at business. So
Also,
like
being an
I just
athlete
look at it as
doesn't
like
make you an ultra athlete. And gauging by the hyperbole and most of the other statements, I don't imagine this person is an ultra athlete.
digital nomad is like that's just not a skill. Like there's lots of people that are digital nomads. It doesn't make you special.
I don't even know what that means. What's that mean? You just
It
browse the
basically means
internet?
you work remote.
Spiritual beast.
I don't even know what that means.
It means you're great at being spiritual, I guess. And then devoted husband.
Like, all right, good. You're a good husband. Good on you. But that
All
doesn't
right.
mean that I would do business with you.
Let's move forward. Slide number 8. Unrealistic or impossible goals by the year 2035. Tracking happiness biologically in real time.
Yeah.
Join me
Think
on
about
one
that.
of these 3 star shots. Make sleep obsolete by 2045. Okay, hang on. 2035 tracking. This is awesome. 2035 tracking happiness biologically in real time. 2040 changing how clinical studies are made and what science means. I like how it's such a lofty goal. It's 16 years from now, and then 2042.5 making sleep obsolete because from 2040 to 2042.
Well, actually,
June
hold on.
2042.
What I'm just realizing is that like the 2040 goal is directly related to 2042.5 because if you change what science means,
you can change what science means. But I like how he's bought himself exactly 2.5 years. I like how there's no, it's 2022, 2024, 25, 26, 35, 40, 45, 50. But in this particular one, he accounts for half a year.
yeah.
And by 2080, he would make universal basic income a reality.
Which is actually funny because that's the most realistic of all of the things on his list.
And then 2090 is bending the laws of physics. Wait, I'm already doing that. So this was the guy that I, just for the record, wanted to join the podcast. We are doing him a service here by not bringing him online and just highlighting these things. Because we could have brought him online, which was my initial idea, and just would have called all this crap out, and just it wouldn't have been nice. So you're right, but I think it's important to draw people's attention to these things that are just, some people are really lured in and say, "Wow, this is amazing." Next up, shills, crypto, or other unregulated assets.
So from time to time when I'm browsing Reddit, I'll see promoted posts from the subreddit is called Crypto Moonshots. And it's all people like, I don't know. I couldn't do it because I don't know the process. But from what I understand, like starting a new crypto coin is very, very easy. And so the crypto moonshots is basically just a bunch of people that have started crypto coins that are trying to get people to buy in so that they can cash out. Because if you start
Exactly.
a coin, it has a value of 0, and you can create as much of it as you want. And the only way it gets value is if you get somebody else to buy it.
Yep, that's exactly how it works. All right, let's move on because we gotta hit some trivia. We got a lot more to cover. Shows crypto. So you got meme coin account accused of hacker influencer.
You don't need to read the whole thing. It's like the
It's basically
headline
what
is
you
enough.
just said. Yeah, they've created a Twitter account basically to influence people to buy their coin.
Yeah,
And
it's all just pump and dump schemes where we're sitting on this thing that's worthless. If we can get anybody to buy it at any price, then we make a bunch of money, and we don't have any responsibility to those people.
and everybody thinks they're like just penny stocks that are going to skyrocket, but we hit
Did that
the
one.
lorem ipsum, and then touting one's own success wants to be the richest person in the room, smartest person in the room, most successful person in the room. Not necessarily the same person. That person, the richest, the smartest, the most successful, will not be the one proclaiming themselves to be any of those things. And that there's a good chance they're one of, if not the quietest person. Yeah, oftentimes the people that are the richest, the smartest, the most successful are usually just sitting back and watching everybody else. Whereas the people that are out there saying they're the most successful, the richest, the smartest, the fittest, whatever, are usually not.
I always use this example of Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is intelligent. I'm not saying he's a stupid person, but he operates in a field that is loaded with intelligent people. And he is not the most intelligent person in his field. In fact, he's probably one of the least intelligent people in his field. Still smart.
No, he's very smart, but he is louder about his intelligence and tends to overrepresent it, I think. Although I think he also does a pretty good job bringing some of these heavier concepts down to reality.
No,
But
I'm putting out the one obnoxious quality to him, which is
exactly.
the I'm so smart and let me demonstrate it constantly. And I think about some of the smartest people that I've met, and they don't talk about their intelligence. They just say things that are smart, not because they think they're smart. They're just like, I see it this way. And I'm like, that's a cool way of seeing it.
All right, so now we're going to get into pig butchering, fake cars, fake jobs, fake phone calls. But I want to reintroduce the bar trivia question from last week. Do you remember the bar trivia question from last week?
I sure don't.
Sid Shady, the notorious jewel thief, lay dead by the side of the tracks. He had been on a train westbound from Calgary to Vancouver. The train had passed by this spot an hour earlier at approximately 6:30 p.m. Shadow quickly examined the body and then slipped his sunglasses on and walked towards the sinking sun and the luggage containing Shady's clothes. Further down the tracks, Shadow found another bag containing money and jewelry. Looks like Shady was about to be robbed and jumped to escape, noted Officer Bob Slack. It is most obvious that our Mr. Shady did not leave the train voluntarily, if he was even alive when he left, stated Shadow. Why does Shadow feel this way? Well, Shadow feels this way because when Shadow got there, the train was going westbound, and he stepped up to the body of Sid Shady, and then he put his sunglasses down and walked towards the sun, which meant he was walking westward.
The direction the train was traveling.
And then he encountered Sid Shady's luggage and then the bag with the cash and the jewels. Nobody would be able to throw that stuff off the train after they had left the train. So the thing is, these things left the train after Sid Shady did.
I mean, the only way it would be possible is like if he jumped out and then threw them in front of him. Which doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but so the answer is, yeah, it was, he knew that the train was going that way and that this guy he must have been pushed off and then his shit was thrown after them. Although whoever pushed him off, I don't know why they would have thrown the sack of money out after him. They should have kept the money and the jewelry. I don't know. Maybe they just, who knows? Tough luck being a jewel thief back in this era.
You
So
how much easier it would have been to get away with crimes in like the 1800s.
I think about it all the time, how much easier crime would have been like before cameras and before like heavy security. All the security you have in place is because a crime happened, and this is a direct response
But
to
like,
make
yo,
sure the
there
same
was no
crime.
DNA. There was like virtually no fingerprints, no cameras. Like,
Yep. Yeah. And surprisingly, there was a lot less crime still back then.
I don't know about that one.
Uh, well, I mean,
I
the
think if you
population was
look at
less, so
like,
proportionally, but
yeah, like per capita incidence rates, I think were much, much higher.
I'd like to look at the data.
I would too.
So did I tell you I was looking to buy a Porsche 911 last year? And I'd like to have an older one from the 90s because they're actually worth a lot of money. They sell generally for six figures. They can sell for, I don't know, 150,000. Generally, they sell right around the $100,000 mark.
You looking at the 993 models?
The 993. So it's a car that was early 90s. They stopped making it in 1997. It's a cool looking car. I thought if I looked long enough online, I could find a deal. Well, I found one for 40 grand. And I reached out to the guy. He said he was in like Texas. He sent me some videos of it. And I figured what I'd do is I'd buy the car, fly out and drive it back home. Not a bad idea, right?
Yeah, when has that ever gone wrong for you?
Well, yeah, it didn't work. Didn't work in high school when I got stranded in Kansas.
Both sides of Kansas.
Yeah, true. But I started doing a little digging. I'm looking at the dealership. The dealership looked more like a tractor dealership, and I was looking at the Google Street View. I didn't see any Porsches on the lot, but I said, oh, maybe the guy, somebody he came into this car. Then I started asking more questions, and I wasn't sold on this car. I think if it was the color I wanted, I probably would have just fucking sent the money. But it was white. I didn't really want a white one, so I asked a lot of questions. I'm like, but it's still a great deal. It's $40,000 car. It's $100,000 car selling for 40 grand. And then the guy just started ghosting me. After sending me all these videos, all these pictures, he just ghosted me.
Yeah, because you were no longer a good mark.
Exactly. So I was still on the prowl. I found another one. This one was located in Florida. Now, my sister lives in Florida, so it wouldn't be that bad. I could fly down to her. We go check out the car. Now, I looked up the dealership. So there's a dealership listed. There's a phone number listed, an email listed. I reached out to him. I'm messaging the guy back and forth on his phone and by email. He's sending me some more pictures. And I just had a feeling after searching the first place on Google Maps, it was a tractor dealer, that what I do is a Google Street View on this one. And it was a real dealership. It was a decent, a used car dealership, but they had some higher end vehicles, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Porsche. And I looked at the sign for that business and the phone number was different. And I thought to myself, okay, well, that's a bit of a red flag, but it could just be the landline. And this is a salesperson talking to me on a cell. That's pretty reasonable. So I called the landline just to confirm. And they said, oh, my God, good thing you called us. That's not real. We've had a couple people being scammed. Somebody's just using our address because we're a dealer and just selling random cars to people on the internet.
I had something like that happen where I got a phone call purporting to be from the Goose Creek Police Department saying that my father was in jail. I'm like, that's quite the accomplishment for him.
He's in jail 1,200 miles south of where he lives.
Yeah, but I actually, like, it was a random number, but a local area code, but a random number. So I actually called the Goose Creek Police Department. I was like, do you have Officer so-and-so? And they're like, yeah, we don't have anybody by that name. And I'm like, so I was going to mess with the scammers a little bit, but then I lost patience.
So I gave you the car scam right there. And basically what they wanted me to do is send some type of deposit or send the whole thing, and then they just disappear. Another scam, and this is kind of what you're talking about, similar vein. Your social security number was used to do illegal activity. So you get a call, very robotic sounding voice, says, hang on the line, your social security number has been compromised. We'll connect you with the Social Security Administration or the FBI. They connect you with that person. They tell you there's a warrant out for your arrest because something was done illegally using your social security number. So we know it's not you, okay, but we got to get this straightened out. So then you're being cooperative. And there was a financial advisor for some money magazine that recently got scammed this way. And she was on the phone with this person for like 8 hours, picked her kids up from school, stayed on the phone with them. They told her that her bank accounts had all been compromised. Whoever she'd been hacked by had all of her information. She needed to clear out all of her savings accounts, get all the money out of her accounts. They would open a secure government bank account for her that was under federal supervision, and they would send an FBI agent to pick it up from her. So they basically sent somebody over in a black Ford Crown Vic or some government looking car, and she gave the money. She gave like 85 grand to this guy.
What's
And then,
amazing to me is like how none of these people that like think to call their banks.
well, she had made some calls on the side, but they stayed on the phone with her, and it was very serious. They had all this information on her, and I think here's the big scam: is these employment scams where these guys get a little information from you, then they look at your Facebook profile, and they have all this. They're able to get a full 360-degree picture of what your real life is like. And that's the scary part. That's the scary part with these scams and everybody who has social media and all of this stuff.
Also, I'm pretty sure that like if there's a warrant out for your arrest for anything, really, nobody's calling you. Like either the police are going to show up at your door or you're just going to find out the next time you get pulled over or something.
So I had an agent within our company reach out to us. We have a shared email that everybody has access to, and it got a spam email. Now, some people have this email set to forward emails to them. So the email actually went out to a lot of the agents within the brokerage. Most of the people went to their spam folder, but some people, I guess, it didn't. And what it said was, hey, it's very unfortunate that you happen to be reading this email right now, but I do have to inform you that we have compromised your computer. We are a very serious group of hackers, and we have hacked your computer. We have recorded you watching pornography. We have videos of you. We have all your search history. We have all your contacts. We will share the videos. But we know it's an unfortunate situation. We'd be happy to let you get back on our good graces. We delete all the information we have. You just need to send us $2,000 in Bitcoin. And I had somebody forward to me saying, hey, is this real? What's going on here? So people tend to fall for this stuff.
If anybody were to say, I'd be like, please send those videos to everybody I know. It would be hilarious.
All right. Let's see. I'll bring it back up just real quick. The last episode we did on scams, I mentioned how I bought a sofa online. So there's a specific sofa I was looking for.
Oh, that makes sense because your notes say soda delivery. And I was like, that's an elaborate scam. And also relatively poignant given.
Although it's not carbonated, but I did get a canned drink delivery. No, sofa delivery. So I had found the sofa online. It was sold out everywhere. Finally, this one website offered it. The website oddly looked like Overstock.com, like exactly the same style, but it wasn't Overstock.com. And I ordered it, and it took freaking forever. I'm watching the shipment updates every single day. And the shipper was USP service. Now, the USPS is the United States Postal Service. Okay. But the USP service was not. Okay. But they both have the same acronym, USPS. So what these guys had done was they were updating me daily or every few days where the sofa was in transit. And then all of a sudden one day it said delivered. And that was the previous day. So Tuesday, there was no updates. Wednesday, it all of a sudden said it was delivered on Tuesday. I said, that's weird. I'm in a doorman building. Doorman has no record of this thing being delivered. So then I reached out to the guy and they said, no, we show it was delivered. You have to take it up to the shipper. The shipper didn't exist. Well, it gets a little deeper. I look up the company website and their address. So the company is registered to an address on their website. And I Google Street View that, and there's nothing there. It's just a random road in the middle of nowhere with no buildings or anything. So I said, well, that's odd. And then I look at the shipment company, the the USP service. I look at their website, and they've got a fake address on there as well. So that's strange. So I'm like, okay, these guys are in cahoots. Then I report it to my credit card, and the credit card says the merchant shows us that the item was delivered. There's nothing we can do. I said, it wasn't. The shipment company is a scam. They said, no, this is USPS. It's not a scam.
That's where you escalate and you do a chargeback.
Well, I was doing the chargeback, and the chargeback was siding with them. I had to appeal the chargeback twice. That was pretty crazy. But I should have known. I was just out there looking for a deal.
All right, let's hit the comments real quick.
All right, what do I got to catch up on here?
So we got Elizabeth talking about her dad getting scammed when he tried to buy a truck for his business. Let's see what else. We got a bunch of comments.
Oh, well, he probably got scammed by a lot of money. Let's see. My dad got scammed when he tried to purchase a truck. He lost all of his money. Not all. She didn't say all. She lost his money. She used $2 signs because he didn't tell anyone that he was planning to buy it. And then he sent the money. It's been 2 years, and he's still dealing with the bank to get this money back. That's really.
Yeah, and Sunspot Living talks about their online security defense just informed them of what online sextortion is, which sounds similar to like what the scam that your agents had of like, we've got videos of you doing something, send us Bitcoin, send us Apple gift cards.
So there's another scam for business owners, and this is if you are an employee, federal and state law, depending on your state, will require that you put certain notices up, certain disclosures, and certain employee rights that are posted within the workplace. There's a lot of things you have to do as a business. So when you open a business, what happens is you start getting letters and notices from different companies telling you that you have to do this compliance, and it's going to cost you $950 to do so. Mail the check here. Now, if you flip over the notice or you look and find letters in the notice, it'll say this is a promotional. It is not required by law that you do it. But a lot of people are just like, oh, this, and the notices look very official. They look like state or federal documents. And what ends up happening, and I mean, I recognize the posters. Sometimes I go into different businesses, you see the poster somewhere in the back, and you're like, oh, shit, these guys paid $140 for a laminate set of, basically printer paper that was laminated to be posted on their fucking
right
wall.
And like the actual federal posters for employment law or whatever else, you can probably buy somewhere else for like $20 or $30 for all of them.
Or you could just fucking print it and stick it with a thumbtack into the wall. It doesn't need to be a laminated special document. You could literally just print it and stick it in your wall. So let's see, what do I have here? So delivery, lawn furniture. So there's a couple different Facebook marketplace scams. So one big Facebook marketplace scam is you start messaging with somebody and they say, hey, there's a lot of scams on here. I want to send you a 6-digit code to make sure you're a real person. Now, somebody on the receiving end might say, okay, that's fair. I want to make sure I'm dealing with a real person. This person's looking out for me. Send me the code. But the question then arises, how does a 6-digit code verify that you're a real person?
Well, yeah, it's confusing, like the 2-factor authentication where like you log into one website and it'll send you a text or an email to a different registered thing to verify that it's you. But with this, it's just like you're operating within the same platform, so there's no extra security added.
Yeah. And what they do is they try to hack your Facebook account or your Google account because they probably have access to your email. It might even be on your Facebook account. And with them trying to get that second factor authentication generates a code, and you're just giving the code back to them.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what happens there. I tried to buy a lawn chair set with table and like some wicker sofas or whatever they're called for my backyard. And the ones I'm looking at cost like fucking $5-6 grand and up.
That's ridiculous.
Well, I mean that's kind of starting, and that's new. So I'm like, all right, let me look at the Facebook Marketplace. I found a set for like $1,000. It was very lightly used. And I said, wow, this looks like a fucking great deal. It's like a 6-piece set with a big table. That's a great deal. So I start messaging the person. She's very cooperative. She tells me where she lives. It looks like she has a real profile. I didn't do any digging, just a middle-aged woman. with a selfie, and she's got a couple items listed, all outdoor furniture adjacent. A grill, something else.
So
So
it's starting out, it looks legit.
looks legit. So go back and forth. I tell her I'm going to come pick up. We had to change the time a little bit. I was running late, and she said, "My husband has another buyer, but you've been messaging me all day. It's yours if you want it. Are you definitely coming?" I said, "Yeah, I'm definitely coming." She said, "All right. Well, my husband said that you should send a deposit. Otherwise, he wants to sell to this other guy. If you send a deposit, I'll hold it for you. Sound good?"
Nope.
And I was like, "No, I don't want to send a deposit." And then I was like, "Let me really dig into this person." And their account was in like Bangladesh,
Ha.
which I didn't catch that on like first notice. And then you go back like 2 years worth of posts, and the posts are in a different language. Right?
Yep.
It's definitely not a middle-aged white woman from New Jersey. It's who else? All right. So here's the big one that I wanted to get into in this episode. And I forgot the name of this. I actually just happened to be listening to a podcast on my ride home, and they mentioned the name. I was like, "What's that?" And then they described the problem. And then I remembered, yes, this is the name. So have you ever gotten any text message that says, "Sally, we're just asking for the camera. Did you finish developing the film?"
Don't think so,
Something random along those
but
lines.
I've probably like deleted them if I have, because like I'm not one to respond to text messages from numbers that I don't recognize.
You just delete them?
Yeah.
Well, most people don't. Most people reply, "Sorry, wrong number." Well, let me share with you this one I
You're
had.
going to talk about pig butchering scams.
That's
Yeah,
exactly where I'm
John Oliver did an episode on this a couple months ago that went into a lot of detail on it. But
So,
for those who don't know or don't watch John Oliver,
so I got a text the other day that just said, "Are you working?" I didn't reply to it. But what that is the start, the introduction of a pig butchering scam. Let me do it. It's not going to allow me to do this. Shared screen. And I also have included a picture of a Facebook friend request I got from Lena Na, a cute Asian girl who's probably 24 years old, wants to be my friend, and she doesn't live in New York. Very strange. Why does this person want to be my friend? I don't know. What happens is it's called pig butchering scam. And what they do is they fatten you up. So they say, "Oh, sorry, this message was meant for somebody else, but you seem really nice." And then they continue the conversation. "Oh, well, look, if you're ever in such and such area, I'd be happy to give you some recommendations." And then they say, "Oh, what do you do for a living?" And then you tell them, and then they say, "Oh, well, I do this. I do these investments or so and so. You might find it really lucrative. If you're ever around, I could give you some information." But basically, they start a relationship with you, get you to like them, fatten you up, and then they slaughter you. Then they ask for it. Then they ask for some type of money. This is also done on dating apps. And this, I think, did John Oliver talk about this? I think I actually watched
maybe
that.
I don't remember, but it's start. You're feeling for people that are interested in talking, and then you talk with them as long as you have to get them to trust you, and then you slowly introduce whatever method you've chosen for how you're going to get their money, whether it's a fake investment platform or asking for money to like fund your travel to come see you.
Well, that's that. If it is the dating website, there's a lot. So this is where people actually think they're not just building a friendly connection with somebody, because they're actually matching with somebody they're attracted to. They're having these more intimate conversations with these people, falling in love with them. And that's when the emotions will really allow you to do dumb stuff.
Right, and be like,
Where
I can't afford, like, I'm all the way in San Francisco or I'm in Bangkok or something, and the flight to the States is $2,000. Like, can you help pay for my flight? Like, can you even just throw me like $1,000 or $1,500 so I
I don't
can
want you
afford
to
to come
buy me
see
the
you?
ticket. I don't want you to buy me the ticket. I want to, I'll pay half, but could you send me half and I'll pay for the other half?
Yeah.
So it's
Damien Tracy says he was the cute Asian that sent you the friend request.
I get a lot of strange friend requests. And the funny thing is I look at them and I have mutual friends and I click at those guys and it's mostly men that just have all these fucking random fake accounts I'm like, guys, are you
See,
kidding
that's an
me?
experience I've just never had, man.
No, because you're not on the online thing. But the thing is, you get an attractive person that says, "Hey, let's be friends." Why not say sure, right?
I guess my level of distrust for people I don't know is much higher than the average.
Well, but that's my point. Is I see these guys, they have all these fake
Sasha
friends.
says, "Who the fuck is this gullible oof?" Sasha, there are so many people that are gullible or lonely, and when you combine those two,
But it's really sad, and I think especially like the dating platform gets it's just really tough, especially for like middle-aged people or somebody who's a widower or a widow, and they finally make a connection with somebody, and then that person is just playing them or catfishing them all along, but really with a financial incentive, and they feel obliged to help these people because they think they're real people. And when you've been, and the thing is, it's not like you're talking to this person for 3 days, they ask you for money. It could be 3 months down the line. That's why it's called pig butchering, because they're really trying to fatten you up.
well,
And
and the thing is, like, as a quick aside, thinking about how shitty the experience on dating apps is, like, to be fair, I think it's really, really difficult to create a dating platform that accomplishes these four goals at the same time. One, provide a reasonable chance for both genders to make connections, not be populated by bots and scammers, not be threatening to women, and be profitable to actually run. To do all four of those things is really hard.
well, it's really difficult to get to scale. It's difficult to get a lot of users on there, right? And I don't know, dating websites suck. We haven't done a great podcast on that. We probably should. I want to talk about one more Facebook Marketplace scam.
Make it quick.
I got I bought a product on the Facebook Marketplace, paid for it, and it arrived 2 weeks later. It cost me like, I don't know, $20, $25. And then a month later, I got the product again. And then a week after that, I got the product again. And it was just basically like,
Oh, did they sign you up for like a recurring billing thing?
so I tried to find the email from them. I couldn't find anything. And then I didn't see any more of their ads. I couldn't, the name on the stuff that I was getting, it was like a multivitamin for men or something like that. The name on there wasn't in my email, didn't have a website. And then I got it again. And then a week after that, I got it again. They ended up sending me every week or so 2 more bottles. And
Were you getting charged for it?
I didn't realize it, but actually I was. They were charging me $120 twice a month after that. And I reported it to the bank and I said, I can't find anywhere to stop these charges. I never signed up for anything like this. So the bank stopped the charges, but then they kept on going. So the bank had to send me a new card. The new card they sent me was 1 digit different. Guess what? The charges stopped for a little while. 40 days later, started back up on the new card. The bank sent me a third card with a third different last digit number, and the charges stopped. 40 days later, they started again. So this company was basically.
Were you able to get all your money back on this?
I got all my money back. It was like around $2,000, I think, in total, and they had to like remake my whole bank account basically. It was really shitty. I've got this week's bar trivia question. If you're ready,
Real
for
quick,
it.
I think
Yeah.
just a general piece of advice is it sounds like avoid Facebook Marketplace. It sounds terrible.
It's not that bad. A lot of options on there. All right, episode 249, bar trivia. While on safari in the wild jungles of Africa, Professor Quantum woke up one morning and felt something in the pocket of his shorts. It had a head and tails, but no legs. When Quantum got up, he could feel it moving inside his pocket. Quantum, however, showed little concern and went about his morning rituals. Why such a casual attitude?
Oh, I know.
All right. I kind of gave it away in the language that I used, but I will. I'll read it one more time. Don't give me the
No.
answer. While on safari in the wild jungles of Africa, Professor Quantum woke up one morning and felt something in the pocket of his shorts. It had a head and tail, but no legs. Quantum got up. As he got up, he could feel it move inside his pocket. Quantum, however, showed little concern and went about his morning rituals. Why such a casual attitude? That's kind of all I got here for episode 249. Anything to say on the outro?
Nope. Don't use Facebook Marketplace.
use it cautiously. Look out for scams. Scams are happening all the time.
Don't make payments directly through Facebook Marketplace.
That would be one. That would definitely be one. I would not make payments directly through Facebook Marketplace whatsoever. On that note, that concludes this episode. Thank everybody for joining. Visit SipTalkPodcast.com to answer the bar trivia question. Go there, buy us a drink, subscribe to the podcast. We'll see you next time. Adios. All right, that concludes this episode on scams, scammers, and grifters. Let me know if we left anything out in the comments, and I'll see you next time.
I like PBR. I just got priced out of it.